The best building you could build is one that actually produces energy. And this is all very possible. You can build a building that produces more energy than it needs.
I would say green buildings have really been in architects and engineers' minds for about 20, 30 years. The idea of how to create buildings that are much more healthy for the natural environment, healthy for people. But over the past 5 years, they've really had a strong surge of interest, and part of it has to do with concerns over air quality, ozone depletion when that was a big issue, climate change now, and really people are starting to be concerned about what role the development of built environment, of cities, communities, plays in helping to offset climate change damage.
The urban heat island effect is a phenomenon by which the city absorbs a lot of heat, and then it emits this heat from the ground or from the buildings. Before there were buildings, you would have presumably a forest, which would absorb very little heat. You build a black parking lot with a building in the middle of it with a black roof on it, and black has a very high capacity for absorbing heat.
I would say about 40 to 60% of carbon emissions comes from our buildings. So how do we create buildings that reduce that carbon footprint?
How does the built environment work in harmony with nature? How do we build buildings that don't have an environmental impact? And that's what green building is all about. And that's why it's so important, because the impact that we're having, the human activity and the building industry in particular is having on the global environment is catastrophic.
Being in the environmental business, I know of the people at the Canada Green Building Council, the Sustainable Buildings Canada, and other organizations who are promoting green buildings and green roof systems. Trade shows increasingly are featuring companies that have green roof systems, and there is now a big emphasis by developers and home builders, such as Mattamy Homes. There is the Courtright Centre up there, the Toronto Regional Conservation Authority they're going intensively into educating the public about green roof systems and how they can be used, not just for industrial applications, but for homeowners as well.
Green buildings is really a holistic approach to developing buildings that are healthier for the environment, healthier for the people that live and work in them, less energy intensive, more water conservation, and really how to do that in a way that's not price prohibitive. So part of the initiative is to create roofs that are much cooler, surfaces that can reflect as opposed to absorb the sun's energies. The other initiative is green roofs, creating roofs that actually take planted vegetation. You put it on the roof, it absorbs water, it absorbs the sun's energy so the plant material can grow. These are all strategies that are very important to what we're trying to do in developing our cities.
You can grow herbs and berries on your roof. You can have a rooftop grass play area. If you have a flat roof, of course.
At the Living City campus, we actually have a number of buildings either built or under construction right now. The Earth Rangers building just down the road here has a low emissive or a white membrane on it. We're proving the fact that the effectiveness of that ability to reflect the heat island effect is working. It also has green roofs on it. It's the Ontario's first LEED Gold building.
So I think there's going to be a greater emphasis towards more green roofs in the future as builders and developers start to recognize that it's not that expensive when you factor in the cost of the environment and our impact that we have.
It's a domino effect. You know, like the energy, you use more energy, you create more CO2. More heat you have, the more heat you're creating outside, the more the air expands, the more gas, the more smog that you have.
Each of us really impacts the natural environment. How we live, how we work, how we play, that's our ecological footprint.
People who want to reduce their footprint, who want to make a difference in climate change, they have decisions to make. It's your roof system, it's the type of car you drive, it's how you turn on and off your light bulbs and what light bulbs you use.
One of the problems with cities and communities that we build is the idea of the heat island effect. All the asphalt and concrete really increases the temperature by 1 or 2 degrees within these cities.
Property managers have important decisions to make. Heat-absorbing roofing materials such as black membranes, aluminum, concrete, and clay tiles cause buildings to heat up. This not only heats up the area outside the building, but makes the inside harder to keep cool. Air conditioning systems work overtime to compensate for the heat seeping into the building, and buildings contribute to 76% of the urban island heat effect.
As the air gets warmer, the gases expand, and this is what actually creates the smog. If you're able to keep the air cooler, therefore you're reducing the smog, or you're preventing the forming of the smog.
The Reflektor roof coating and protective system creates a surface that reflects heat. The Reflektor coating system is a proven method for reducing heat absorption. The difference between coated and uncoated surfaces can be as much as 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Reflektor protects the roof from the contraction and expansion caused by changes in surface temperature, ultimately increasing the lifespan of the roof. Reflektor also reduces air conditioning costs by as much as 2% for each 1 degree. Unlike other green roof solutions, Reflektor can be applied to a variety of roofing substrates and starts working immediately. Find out how you can benefit from this innovative technology while taking a positive step towards creating greener buildings. For more information and product specifications, please visit www.reflektor.ca.